second point I want to make is this. We were born naked, and we shall return naked. We were born naked, and we shall return naked. And back to 1 Timothy chapter 6 in verse 7, Paul says, "For we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it." We brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. This is naked truth. Look at the baby being born. When a baby comes out, nothing does the baby bring. Nothing on the baby. Nothing in the hands of the baby. The baby comes the way they are, without anything else. We brought nothing into the world. We will take nothing. But the process of birth is the most difficult thing a woman goes through. We are born through tears of pain. Every mother naturally delivering a baby will have a lot of pain, a lot of cry, a lot of tears. Even if you went through C-section in a theater, you are going to have wounds that you have to nurse. There is pain in delivery. Our arrival is painful. The mother faces that pain. There is water, there is blood. Before the baby is born, there must be a spilling of water, there must be blood, and these are the processes of birth. My beloved, it is not an easy thing to be born on planet Earth. And that's why when we are born, the environment is totally different. Of course, you're going to cry. I even cried. You cried. In fact, when you cried and I cried, the midwife was very happy because the baby is alive. But you know you are born without anything. You are born without anything. You grow up and you begin to accumulate, but these things must come through hard work. We have to work hard in order to acquire what we have. And if you have anything without work, then you are either a thief or you inherited something which somebody else worked for. Your father worked hard and left maybe things for you. But under normal circumstances, everybody has to work very, very hard. That's why when God gave Adam his last instructions as a result of the fall, in Genesis chapter 3 verse 19, I read for you. God said, "By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food, until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return." You will eat by sweating. And that is God speaking to Adam. And today the same thing is happening. We have to sweat in order to eat. We have to sweat really hard. We have to work very hard until the day comes when we will go back to the dust where we came from. He reminded Adam, you came from dust, you will go back to dust. You came and your body must go and decompose. But in order to live, you must work very hard. I still want to remind you, beloved friends. Paul was teaching us in Ephesians 4:28. Those who steal, don't steal again. Don't steal anymore. Work hard and produce and give to people. We have to work because God had told Adam, you are going to work, you are going to sweat. But you know what happens, and the truth is always true, that the day we depart this life, we leave everything that we worked for. Whatever you had accumulated, you will leave behind. Because what happens is this. Even if I live in a big house or even a palace or in a mansion, the day I die, I leave that behind. I create myself a little narrow house called a coffin. That's where my body will lie. That's where my clothing, some of them, will go to. The rest will remain behind. I will leave my houses. I will leave my wife and children. I will leave my money in the bank. I will leave my big car. I will leave everything. That is the truth. You worked so hard. You accumulated so much. But you didn't bring them. So the day you are going, you can never take them. Let this truth sink into our hearts. Just in case we are holding into what we have, time comes at the right time, you are not going to take those things with you. You will leave them behind. Everything else we have accumulated does not belong to us. It will remain for people who are going to remain behind. Haven't you seen, beloved, that when a rich person dies, somebody with money, animals, when they die, don't you see how big the funeral is? People will come. They want to come, but you see, half of their time will be eating what you left behind. You accumulated it for others to use it. There is nothing new in that kind of thing going on. And that is why in verse 9 of 1 Timothy chapter 6, this is what Paul says. He says, people who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap, and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge men into ruin and destruction. It is so true that money and a desire for money can bring untold suffering. For in money pursuit, when you are chasing money and your heart is on money, the temptations are many. Many of us who go after money, you go through multitude of temptations after temptations, and many times people even fall. Let God give you riches. And when He has given you riches, I want you to use those riches to the glory of His holy name. It is so important to know that it is only God who gives us these riches. Why? Because the planet on which we are living belongs to Him. The silver and gold also belong to Him. Cattle on 1,000 hills belong to Him. What you are getting, you get it because He gives you the power, the ability to get it. And that is why Solomon writes, and he writes as a man who has been very familiar with money. His words are very clear. In chapter 30 of Proverbs and verse 7, let me read for you. This is his cry. It's a prayer. He says, 2 things I ask of you, O Lord. Do not refuse me before I die. 1, keep falsehood and lies far from me. And then 2, give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me only my daily bread. And this is the reason. Otherwise, I may have too much and disown you and say, who is the Lord? Or I may become poor and steal, and so dishonor the name of my God. What an amazing truth. He's asking for what he needs. And what we need is so small. After all, a person can only eat a plate of food. Breakfast is only simple tea, coffee, or maybe bread and egg or whatever. Very simple food. Your stomach is full. Lunch, you need only 1 plate if you're a normal human being. Supper, you need only 1 plate. Our needs are very limited. When you are sleeping, you only lie on 1 simple bed. We do not need much. Give me what I need. The only problem with human nature is that we don't only pursue what we need, but we also pursue what we want. It is what we want which brings us multitude of problems, a lot of it. So he says to me, first of all, will you keep me from lying? Will you keep me from being a liar? Keep me from being a liar. Make me speak the truth. Because lying, as I already taught you, is the work of Satan. He's the father of lies. When he lies, that is his nature. So please keep my tongue from lying. And then secondly, give me neither poverty nor riches. Give me neither poverty nor riches. That's amazing. I love that one. He said, give me what I need. And the reason he gives is this. If I have too much, I will disown you. I will say, who is God? And I can tell you, I have traveled to America and UK, Europe, Asia, where people have so much. In many places where people have money and riches, God is very far. Why? Because if he needs food, he doesn't pray for it like Jesus taught us, give us this day our daily bread. He has his food in the freezer, in the fridge, stocked there for a month, 2 months. Why should he pray, give us this day our daily bread? It's you maybe, who may not know where your next meal is coming from, who need to pray that prayer, but not for him. As far as food is concerned, he has got a lot. As far as health is concerned, he has got doctors, surgeons, the best hospital, consultants, everybody. When he needs to be treated, he will be treated in the best hospital. So why should I ask God to heal me? Although the truth is this. Not every sickness can be healed by a physician. Not even a surgeon can heal anybody. No, they only help you to get healed, and the healer is God. But he is deceived by what he has. He has so much, so you think God is not in his vocabulary. God is not in his life. God is not in his experience. He does not need God. I have been to places, friends, where the big cathedral hardly has people. People have turned their backs. But you go to the shopping mall, go to the shopping center, people are in hundreds, they're shopping. Their God is now materials. They go and buy things even on Sunday. The day you should be going to church, these guys are going to buy things. Why? Because they're not now looking after the things they need, they're now looking at the things they want.